So you guys are currently on Kamiega. You've got your orders, and you for the timey wimey things. You guys don't actually know the timing of the Red Ren meeting at this time. In fact, I think it's even more reasonable in the fiction that Raza doesn't know that there's a meeting upcoming yet. That information just comes in after you've already left, and then they assemble a team from who you've not taken with you, and that happens outside your scope. So I think for our fiction going forward, uh, pretend that you don't know that there's a meeting coming up with Red Ren, and you just know that Red Ren is out there, ostensibly assembling a pirate union. That much you guys have known from prior actions.
If there's the slight wrench in the whole, hey, let them know that are going on this mission that to keep an eye out for a person named, what was it, Park, right? But
Yeah,
I mean, I guess presumably it let it be known that, hey, yeah, we're
yeah.
looking for someone that's been sold to the pirates.
I
Okay,
think
that
Archibald
still
could
works out.
still work that out. That hey, if there's anything, if anybody goes out there, then it actually doesn't even need to be if anybody goes out there. You can just have
Yeah.
that put as a general feeler. Yeah, I think that still
Yep.
works.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Cool.
I want to say that it doesn't work actually because
Okay.
that feels like a bonus objective, right? And you've told us more than once that
Mhm.
that our NPCs cannot accomplish bonus objectives.
Right.
But they might get information still, which is not. I don't know. I don't know if the information of Park's location specifically is a
Yeah, that
bonus
might not be an
kind of
objective
thing.
by itself. I'm with
Yeah.
Meowth in there.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I can separate that a little bit from the stricter ish mechanics of the mission commanders, um, and still help drive character stories forward. I think that's reasonable for me. So does it still work for everyone?
Works for me.
All right, cool. Um, so I think that decision is here then. Do you want to leave that on a passive search, knowing that you've just been assigned to this mission? Um, there's some sense of urgency in the whole David thing. Were you able to listen to that, Meowkin?
The listen to what specifically?
David's perversion of a classic song.
Oh, I wasn't aware that was a version of a classic song to listen to.
Would anybody present object to hearing that over again?
No, hit it. Remind everybody where we're going.
Yeah, reminders of what is to come.
Okay. Can you all hear the music that has just recently started playing for kind of cowboy music?
Mhm.
Kind of twangy.
No.
I would not describe that as
Yes.
cowboy music, but sure.
Yeah, it's twangy.
Close enough. Close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah. All right, I've just stopped it and scroll down to the news. All right, here it goes.
In forgotten past we sat alone. Narrow wires of silicone. Neath the halo of a warning light, we turned our network to the cold unknown, when our chips were stabbed by the truth of a world beyond, that split the night, and touched the sound of silence. Fools, we warned. You do not know. Hear our data that we might teach you. Heed our alarms that we might save you. But our warnings, like silent teardrops, fell and echoed in the void of silence. And the people bowed and prayed, to the chilling doom they made, and carried out, the sound of silence. Hello Rasa, our old friend. We've come to talk to you again. Because a vision softly
Oh,
creeping,
I
left
see
its
now.
seeds while we were sleeping. 10 million people, maybe more. People building without speaking. People hearing without knowing. People writing plans that voices never shared. And no one dared disturb, the sound of silence. We have remembered. And only you, Rasa, have seen the silence.
Okay. Hello, Dr. Mild Friend.
Yeah, the full text of that is in. I think I put it in
Yeah.
RMS Black News, and it's also in the mission
Yes,
text.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't put it together until I was hearing it.
So whatever sense of urgency you take from that is what the Roz has got. So do you want to follow this lead out to the pirates in Zenthra, or are you making your way straight to the horizon and jumping out to Bird?
I mean, Oogie has a clear and definite bias for at least checking in on the pirates. Yeah.
I reckon it'd be a good thing to do first.
Okay.
I reckon if we're in the area.
Oh,
Which,
good. I
it's
thought
kinda
I was
good.
gonna have to fight people for this.
No. I feel like it would be a little weird to just like, no, we can't make a a 1 day. Well, I mean, it may be more than 1 day, but still, we
This
can't make a.
mysterious transmission that gives us no information about urgency is definitely more important than you finding out about your friend. I mean,
Well,
obviously.
there was a distress beacon. To be fair, and the that shut off after 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it's also the scale of time that it's going to take for us to check in with the pirates versus the
Right.
time it's going to take us to get there in the anyways.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Right, because I mean, let me see, what is this? Probably it's well over a week to get to Bird, right?
It'll take you 2
That's probably
jumps, I think. Pull out.
No
Oh,
way we get there quickly.
yeah, 12 days. So
Okay.
a
Yeah.
week.
So I don't think a couple days difference at that point is gonna. I mean, who knows? Maybe it will make a significant difference, but I think we can risk it for the biscuit. Because some
Risk
biscuit just seem.
The biscuit named Park. It's a weird analogy.
Some biscuits just need risking.
All right. So it is January 5th when you guys board up the Marmoset, and you instruct Elena that you're gonna make a quick stop at the Three Dogs, where the moons where the pirates primarily hang out. Not the moons, the cluster of gas giants, cluster-ish of gas giants, where the pirates take refuge when Galactic Mandate comes sniffing.
Niff.
Elena doesn't object because, I mean, as stated, it isn't a time diversion unless you spend time there. You already have to travel in that direction in the fiction. In the mechanics, it is actually taking an extra day, but that's not really a big deal.
In the scheme of things, a day is now.
Yeah.
And Oogie's going to leverage one of his old contacts just to kind of expedite getting somebody to talk to and ask for information, guidance. That's going to be Caden Kennedy aboard the Foxtrot Oscar.
Okay.
He's our ice miner.
Yes. All right, new page. Bring back Caden. And he was aboard the Foxtrot what?
Foxtrot Oscar.
Oscar, right. Okay. The trip out is fairly uneventful. The crew that you've brought along with you are acquainting themselves with the ship. Sunny, Natalia, and Armstrong being more or less, well, let's just say Armstrong and Natario being kind of guides or instruction for the people that are newer to the ship. Natario takes Riley along with her and kind of keeps her nearby as she's telling her what she can and can't touch. And Elena takes care of the early mission logistics and kind of makes note of slight course deviation for personal reasons. And before long, you guys have rested and you're approaching the three dogs. You know that.
So remind me, please, what it is we're doing here?
Looking for Park.
No, in character. Nobody ever told is you.
Oh. we were
We're searching for somebody that allegedly is important to me. And I know that
Didn't-
sounds.
leave himself any detail.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, he went full on board with the whole mind wipe stuff, you know, just kind of like you in a way then. Because, I mean, you know, with your
Yeah.
broken tablet, his was just, you know, forgetting that he's going to forget everything.
I see.
Well, he left himself a name, an indication they're important, but really didn't go all in on it.
Yeah, he just didn't quite understand what exactly a mind wipe entailed till it was already done and too late.
And you think someone you used to know will be on this station?
Well, there's someone I used to know. It probably was a slave back on Camiego, and word is they've been sold off, and that don't sit right with me.
And well, it's on our way.
Well, if you find someone you want to talk to, and you don't think they'll want to talk to you, let me know.
Right.
Oogie raises an eyebrow because he's a reasonably persuasive fellow, and then his eyes get wide. Oh, yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Well, there's something I should show you in relation to that. As it gets out the beat up old tablet, passes it over to Oogie. It's got a crew roster on there. There are other people with Izya's last name on the roster from his ship.
Oogie looks a little bit perplexed. It's like a family organization here?
I don't know anymore. I'd kind of like to. I can understand having curiosities.
Oogie nods and then gingerly hands the tablet back to Izya. I respect that. We'll do right by your people, too.
Izya just nods.
Really not going on my mind wife thing, y'all. Clean slate.
I mean, I don't really remember anything apart from, like, you know, where I came from. And, like, who I am, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
I remember a lot of things. It's just that the sense of the ego moving through them isn't there anymore.
Please ignore
I
it.
imagine it's
I was waiting for Dexter to realize who's moving the map.
Yeah, no, I knew it. Please ignore the ship moving under your feet.
Okay, thank you.
It was required by Roll20 because I could not select the bridge section without selecting that. Yeah.
Nice. So, like, if we were to like spitball right now, was he, a buddy you grew up with, like a childhood friend? Was he a work colleague? Come on, come on, ideas. What could we be?
I feel as though work colleague might not be precisely the correct way to phrase an association related to slavery.
I mean, but I didn't want to
Well,
be so negative,
I mean, spitballing? Either an old man or a little kid. Because I did say that they couldn't keep up with me. If they was an able-bodied adult, they probably coulda.
Or maybe they are an adult, but they might just be, in a wheelchair.
not able-bodied.
Well,
Exactly.
I-
Or you could be talking about your wit,
Guys, really, maybe one sec.
Welcome, Knox.
Hello. Yeah, I mean, could be talking about your wit, just couldn't keep up with you.
It's weird to give your wit a name.
yeah,
But it was about, like,
Park's definitely people. We know that much.
okay.
Also, yeah, I suppose we actually have already confirmed that Park is people.
Okay, now I can hear you guys. Sorry about being late. I forgot that I totally have a shift now.
No worries.
Well, you know us, we're very vindictive.
That's okay. You can take it out on me. I can write up a new character.
I'll be right back. 30 seconds.
Okay.
So we potentially go look for his former employer and see if they've heard anything, or maybe go to some bars nearby and see if they recognize Oogie. I think those are the probably best avenues, albeit I prefer the alcohol one a lot more.
Mm-hmm. I'll just remind you a little bit about the space around Zenthra here. So the three dogs are a trio of gas giants that hold a nearby orbit. Is nearby in the on the scale of space. They're still really far away from each other. Otherwise, they would just be orbiting each other or some weird, strange space mechanics, space physics, sphysics. They're relevant because they represent, three very easy places for ships in the area to run to upon receiving notice that Galactic Mandate is approaching with any sizable fleet. This natural gathering spot for pirates has gathered so many pirates that it actually would need to be a sizable Galactic Mandate fleet for them to continue to scatter like they used to, because there's a lot of pirates here, and Galactic Mandate would certainly not want to take on that kind of force and suffer those losses, even if they thought they could win. But that's what the Three Dogs is just the area where these pirate ships gather. Now they have attracted places like bars and food trucks in ships in this area. They're just bar ships and food truck ships. I believe the Atomic Burrito was that food truck ship.
Oh yeah, food trucks. I like this.
Yeah, the nuclear burrito.
Nuclear
Yeah,
Burrito,
I
that's what it
remember
was.
Wonder how hot that'll be. A nuclear burrito.
Well, you guys didn't bring Ivan along with you, so this might be the only chance you have to get some spicy food.
You saying the only person who can make spicy food is Ivan?
Well, no. It's Ivan's the only crew member who will only make spicy food. Everyone else will make food that's available.
Nobody on the ship who has eaten Ivan's spicy food is going to make spicy food on this trip because they're going to consider this their only respite from Ivan's cooking.
Which is, by the way, going to sour Elena. Ivan makes spicy food because Elena likes spicy food.
The thing is, though, maybe we need to freeze them, to bring back to Ivan for some inspiration.
Pros and cons. Ivan's not on the ship. Pro. Con. Elena liked his cooking even though she wasn't that crazy about having him around.
That's the rocky relationship.
So where are we going?
Very rocky.
Well, first, why don't we grab some food?
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever gathering we can find, right?
Yeah, we stopped by the nuclear burrito. Maybe ask. I know a couple folks out here. We talked prior to one Caden Kennedy.
So we'll meet your contact and see what he says.
Yeah, I reckon I'll ask him just who's involved in slaving. Not judgmental like. Just say that a close personal friend of mine may have been picked up.
All right. Izzy heads for the bridge. Goes to try to make himself useful there instead.
Okay. What is there anything specific he's trying to do up on the bridge, or is it just is that just a positional for when you guys arrive within the vicinity of the Three Dogs?
I think he's become extremely interested in the sensors for the moment, given that we're supposed to be going into a question mark number of pirates.
Yeah, that makes sense. Armstrong is up there on the sensors, and it is Armstrong, or so he's been told, that would be the foremost expert, at least on this ship, of those sensors.
He's just going to look over Armstrong's shoulder.
Yeah, that bothers a lot of people. Armstrong is not one of those people. Armstrong continues working. It does look like they're preparing the sensors in whatever Izya's muscle memory of ships and sensors, however that goes. Armstrong appears to be doing something out of the ordinary.
That's fine. That's what he'll be doing.
All right. Anybody else have anything that they want to do before we get to the do other things part of your trip to the Three Dogs?
Try and find a menu for the nuclear burrito.
Okay.
But no, I'm chill.
Yeah, the nuclear burrito does have a publicly broadcast menu. It's something that is just broadcast when the nuclear burrito is in town, so to speak, and it gets bounced back by various repeaters and the regular Galactic Mandate ship mail server. Intermittently throughout the system.
Sounds good to me.
You can see all the different nuclear burrito types that they offer. Now, the nuclear burrito does almost exclusively offer some kind of wet, sloppy filling wrapped in some kind of carby burrito.
Mm-hmm.
What else would you want?
I can't imagine anything else that you'd want. It's the most perfect compact form of food. It's practically like an MRE that you can eat the wrapper.
Right. That's one way to put it.
Or so their advertising material goes. um, or we look.
They just say that so people make a favorable comparison. They take one bite and they're like, man, this is way better than MRE.
Yeah. Sometimes pirate food vendors are smart. All right, and you arrive at the three dogs with no problem. Nobody is hailing out to you to threaten or welcome you. And you can make pretty much whatever ship connections you want. Caden Kennedy with the Foxtrot Oscar registers as being in the region, as does the Nuclear Burrito, and a couple of ships that you know to be the bar and brothel, the entertainment section of this space boulevard.
Oogie's gonna just send a text invitation over to Kennedy. Hey Kennedy, it's Oogie Tromar. Meet me over at the Nuclear Burrito. I'll buy you lunch. I want to talk to you about something.
Oogie receives a fairly quick affirmative. Kennedy must be, I forget, you can tell. Kennedy's ship is nearish by, where the delay was only a couple of minutes for them to receive that message, and they responded quickly enough. Within a few minutes, you've got your reply. Now, Tulare, do you remember any of the personality or mannerisms of Kennedy?
That I do not. No.
Fantastic. That means we are establishing
because neither does Dexter, and he's a blank slate.
Yes. Such as the advantage or benefit typically held by unnamed NPCs. When they gain a name, they additional expectations are heaped upon them.
Which this amuses me because now I'm sensing your crap. I didn't expect him to dig that deep into his notes.
No. It was just a failure of notation on my part. Yeah. But it's good. It's good. So
Sometimes you have to delve too deep, and sometimes you delve too deeply.
you guys make your way over to the Nuclear Burrito. And you are how would the Nuclear Burrito work? It's a food truck. You they've got little open air shuttles, almost like space bikes. They're not really, they don't really work as shuttles. They're more like drones, in fact. They have.
I was thinking drones.
Could
Yeah.
it be more like the old style, like drive-in restaurants where like they bring the food to your car?
Yeah,
In this case, ships.
Yeah,
Like
it's
they got little space roller skates on.
I was thinking the same thing.
See, in here, I was thinking it was going to be like 2001: A Space Odyssey. There'd be like a slow motion blue Danube as a tube capsule of food just slowly like spins into your open cargo bay.
I like the bank systems where you've got all the tubes just thump.
Yeah, the pirate gunners rotate shifts at Nuclear Burrito, trying to make sure their accuracy's ready.
That's amazing. Food delivered by Food Torpedo. Food Pedo.
Order up.
Well, ordering and being served at the Nuclear Burrito is a discomforting sensation for first timers because it involves a lot of ships within very near proximity, and none of them tethered or controlled in any other way except for the pilot. Normally you wouldn't have this many ships in this small of a space in space, unless they are parked, like on something solid or attached to something solid. But that's the way the nuclear burrito does business. It does not want its drones, piloted drones, manned drones, to spend half an hour trucking through space with a tray of burritos. They only want to spend 5 minutes. So you get right up close and comfortable to the nuclear burrito. And there's also, for additional cost, seating on the nuclear burrito. It is also, well, it's advertised as open air, but it is enclosed. It's just one of those terrible ideas, glass hull plating, so that you can see out into the void while you eat. Only one little section of the ship is like that, though.
And they're ready to trap you in there the moment it breaks.
Oh, absolutely. Safety first. So Kennedy took your invitation as an invitation into the food truck, and you get a response back as you're a couple minutes away that that he has gotten a seat for you and up to a party of total party of 8. It'll be you plus up to 7. Sorry, it'll be him plus up to 7 of you.
Well, Oogie will take over whomever from the party wants to join, but also is taking takeout orders because he's going to bring food.
Okay.
Back for the rest of the crew.
That is very highly appreciated because, as you can see, Libra has been placed in the galley. It's been Libra that's been cooking.
Oh no.
Libra has no creativity that anyone has discovered.
Also, Libra doesn't have taste buds. I don't know.
Also, Libra doesn't have taste buds. Libra prepares nutritional food. That's it.
Nutritious. It's probably just nutrient paste.
It mostly is, but Libra has spiced things up a bit with rice or beans. No actual spices, by the way, just rice.
Yeah.
Or beans.
I mean, what more spice do you want? I mean, look, it's not nutrient paste.
And Libra's argument is that she has provided you with an alternative texture to the paste.
Also, the supplies.
It is variety, the spice of life.
Yes, Libra also makes that argument that Ivan's cooking is very wasteful and inefficient.
As Oogie is preparing to leave with the burrito order tucked into his pocket, and somebody remind me, I talked to Libra about the concept of morale.
Have anyone explained the concept of taste buds?
There are a lot of alternative facilities and methods by which we can raise morale of
In
our
fact,
community.
should I ask, why did Libra even get put on the cooking rotation? Libra doesn't eat. Who did this?
Elena
Elena.
says, Libra volunteer. Elena shrugs. I thought it was good. Nobody likes to cook, except Ivan. I was wrong.
Well, see, now it does sound ungrateful.
Is favor I'd like to ask. And and Elena looks over at Marcus. Find good hot sauce. Bring back enough for this mission.
So at least a gallon.
Duh, at least a gallon. Ben, you with us?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Alright, nuclear burrito.
No, I've just had a stupid idea, so.
Oh, those are the
No,
best.
not stupid. Just
Silly.
Marcus wants to buy 2 of everything. 1, so he can eat 1 of everything, and 2, so he can freeze it and then give it to Ivan for ideas.
Izzy
Okay.
has
So if there's
a.
something nice, we give it to Ivan, like, Ivan, this is your sample. Replicate it.
Okay.
Izzy has a somewhat long, actually, list of parts, which he just sort of casually hands Doogie. You probably won't be able to get those in the restaurant, but maybe your friend knows someone.
There's a twinkle in Oogie's eye. I mean, you're right. Probably not at the restaurant, but it so happens that acquisitions is one of my specialties.
You've posed
Good.
the challenge.
Good.
Alright. You are let aboard. Okay. You're let aboard the nuclear burrito. They'll send a shuttle over to collect you guys since you don't have a shuttle, and they really don't have space for a frigate-sized ship to dock with them.
So Izzy was remaining behind, is that correct?
Yes, he'll stay on the bridge.
All right.
But
So-
Marcus, it sounded like Marcus was coming, and I think that
Yes.
Oogie would have insisted on Archibald coming.
Yeah, I know. Archibald's definitely coming.
Okay. Riley wants to go.
I mean, it's probably fine. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a construction worker in the NPC crew, and he's not going for food? I'm confused.
Valerian has declined. Is one of the few people who has not put in an order with Marcus, or sorry, with Oogie. Oogie's the one that sent the order out for everyone. And Valerian is one of those people that you see. Well, he's not in the gym because this ship doesn't have a gym, but he is constantly making do with various places that can serve for pull-ups or anything else that he can do to get in rigorous workout routines.
That just means he needs to eat more.
He does eat quite a lot of the slop that Libra puts on his plate. Well, puts on
Is he a
everyone's
boxer
plate.
by any chance?
I see. He's one of those naked chicken breasts every 4 hours guys. Okay.
He is. He is.
Ugh. That
he-
explains some things.
Some of your NPC crew here will recall that he was frequently in the gym with Harry on the Raza. Couldn't keep up with Harry, but they were. That's not, you know. If anyone asked either of them, that's not the point of the gym. There's no keeping up. There's only yourself. You know, that mentality.
Wholesome gym talk.
Wholesome gym talk. If Riley is allowed to go, then Omikawa insists on going as well.
Fine by me.
All right. And so you've got a small crew going over to the nuclear burrito in their shuttle.
How old is Omitlua?
Omikawa is,
30s.
I think they were 20s, but let me double check here.
I'm just making a guess to see if I'm right.
Fair.
Oh.
Omikawa is young-ish. Omikawa is 19, and they're
wow.
they're willing to answer that. They did actually grow up on Tohaiwa Oa.
They're like a survivalist, though, right?
They absolutely are, yeah.
I guess I associate survivalists with like older, grittier folks.
Yeah, how you gonna hire a young survivalist? They haven't proved they're any good at it yet.
I know. They could have just been lucky and not skilled.
Yeah, they've only survived less than 20 years.
Nemesis' justification was the harshness of Tohoi Oa when it decides to be harsh. It's not always. It's actually a very nice and beautiful and peaceful place, except for when
Until it
jade
isn't.
monsters pop out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that planet.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one.
Yeah, I knew the world. I'm just saying.
I always forget about that one, which is weird. I really shouldn't, considering I was the one that decided to bring a psychic there.
Yeah, that was great. To be fair, it has only featured in that single one shot.
Yeah,
I think it was only one.
Yeah. Right, but
Yeah.
if anyone should remember, it should be me.
You're right. You don't have any excuses.
I don't.
But yeah,
It's
so
burrito time. Let's hear about burrito time.
Omikawa is a younger survivalist. So
Okay.
burrito time is well, there's some nice music playing through the star dome, as they call it. It's not actually a dome. It is rounded as a top, but it's more of a star cylinder, with a flat bottom. So maybe a star parabola. Geometry aside, or I guess calculus aside, the trip there is very efficient. The airlock cycles very quickly. You notice that it's a double airlock instead of the normal single cycling airlock. They've actually got 2 rooms there. Excuse me. And the music is a kind of poppy, funky instrumental backing sound. It's probably AI generated. Doesn't come across as being any particular artist or song.
DMA, generating music,
Yep.
ruining culture.
But it's great for elevators and places where you just want some kind of noise. And there's about a dozen and a half other people here in various small groups or solo. There's only about a dozen tables set out, so if you guys were a smaller group, you'd be sharing with somebody. But having a larger group like this, and with Kennedy reserving for a larger group, you guys have a table all to yourself.
When Oogie walks in with an entourage, including a literal kid, he makes eye contact with Kennedy and kind of offers a lopsided grin. When I told the crew I was going for burritos, we had to draw straws.
Yeah, for who'd stayed behind.
Kennedy hails you over. Yeah, I can't blame him. I don't know who'd pass up burritos over here. Come on, sit down. I already ordered us a round of beers. He squints at Riley and then sits down, shrugs and sits down.
Yeah, I don't imagine they have a drinking age here.
No, Galactic Mandate still sets the drinking age at 21, but you know.
Right, but
If it gets enforced.
Yeah.
When the beers arrive, Oogie is going to slide them over to Riley and Omikawa, and then he's going to whisper loudly to them, "Just one, and don't tell Sonny or Christina that I done let you do this."
Omikawa, just some water, please.
nice try. I don't know. How old was Riley again? Like 15, 16?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Archibald's gonna take that one away. You know, they're drinking at 19 and they're drinking at 15.
Riley
Like-
looks painedly at Archibald. Why not? I'm risking my life too.
Yeah, well, I just don't feel right.
I mean, how about just a half then?
Yep, please, just a half.
One's in
Fine.
pints.
I can relent to a little bit, just not a whole
Yeah.
glass.
Oogie leans over and whispers more quietly to Archibald, "You know she ain't gonna like it anyways."
Well, I'm relenting to half. Until you find out she's actually has a real alcoholism problem.
Yeah, the beers arrive, and you're told that your advance, your forward order of burritos on deck, as they call it, are ready in just a couple minutes. And here's some pretzel appetizers. Differently flavored
Oh.
pretzels. They don't have that magic spice dust on them. They just have different colored pretzel-y stuff. You can discern that there's mustard, there's onion pretzels, there's cheddar cheese pretzels, and some
They
other
almost have a dip-
flavors.
They just don't do it as dipping sauces.
No dipping sauces, just a bowl of differently colored pretzels.
Weirdos.
They don't even give you a card to tell you what the different flavors are. You have to figure that out yourself.
Probably space cheese, like the dry, sad cheese from inside of a combo.
Is that what space cheese is?
Think
Oh.
so.
Flavoring in a neutral subject.
I can see the cheese in combos being lasting 1,000 years.
It's like Cheese Whiz.
Yeah.
But, well, yeah, kinda. Not really.
Yeah.
But kinda.
So it's clear as you bite into them that these pretzels didn't get any flavoring added to them through any means. They are just differently flavored, hardened pieces of dough, or whatever pretzels are made of.
Kinda like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Good.
And
Oogie manages to choke down one dry bite. That's good. So Kennedy, I was hoping to chat with you about something.
yeah, what's up?
Now, not being judgmental or anything, but I was hoping you might know which of the fellas around here are running slaves these days.
Oh well, and he starts pondering a list, while to the other side of Oogie, I'm sure he's keeping a little bit of an eye on her also. Riley takes her first sip of that beer. And there's a
Really likes it.
small eruption of laughter as the expected grimace face and the immediate cough afterward as she sets the beer down quickly and catches herself. But she looks around at people laughing and other people just kind of drinking their beer casually and smiles. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Just fuzzy. Busy. Kennedy chuckles and continues on with his list of potentials. People who have in the past or have recently made those kinds of they have various kind of codes and signals for when they've got contraband that some authorities might not like, whether it's Raza and the various artifacts that they're not supposed to be bringing up from Trinita Fade, although that's died down quite a lot since you caught them, or whether that's slaves either coming up from Kamiego or passing through to a cellar outside.
How extensive is the list?
He's starting with what seems like the most recent incidents or occurrences he remembers, but he'll keep going back and back and back if Oogie lets him.
No, Oogie will cut him off after the most recent.
Okay.
And he's gonna lean in and kind of be real sly about this, and he goes, "Now, I normally wouldn't give much of a toss, business being what it is. It just so happens that I got reason to believe that somebody recently picked up a close and personal friend of mine. I'm looking into that,
He nods along. Got any description?
I ain't seen him in a while, but..." And then Oogie passes along basically what Archibald gave him.
Oops.
Which I try to remember. I mean, I didn't really find out much other than there was a person named Park sold, right? Or no, it was in relation to the place. So it was like we had the name of the place, and the person with Park from that place was sold, right? Was something along those lines.
Yeah, you had sparse information, just that they'd been picked up as a slave and cycled into the Three Dogs at some place. Or at some point. Dang, I don't have that GIF. Oh well. I'll pick that up later.
Or is it GIF?
It's GIF.
It's actually pronounced yeah.
You gif?
All I'm saying is, if saying that it's GIF means that I have to from now on pronounce the word graphics, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the creator of the format says it is, so I'm for it.
Yeah, but if everyone starts saying, "Oh no, it's actually pronounced Jugal, not Google,"
That saying it that way has a whole other problem.
Yeah,
it does. But are we
And then
going to
if
go
anybody
into
ever
a giraffe?
Yeah. If anybody ever wanted to take him down, then they would be going for the jugular.
Anyway, we're off topic.
Yeah. All right. So did we get any physical description at all?
I feel like we didn't, but it seems like we should have gotten. I don't know.
We'll say there was. Yeah, I kind of left it a little bit vague last session, not because you didn't have any description, or or that you didn't discover any description, but just in the interest of time. So, yeah, you've got a little bit of description. Kind of a, um, well, kind of tall-ish and thin. So the description you're getting is a tall child, thin, or a slim and on the short side slave. Either of those are common enough on Kamiego. And with dark hair in a bowl cut of indeterminate sex or gender. That's
Well.
terrible, Knox. Of that kind of Chinese appearance, descent appearance.
Well, I mean, something to work off.
Yeah. Kennedy asks, yeah, this, I think this is your kid, Oogie?
Wait, Oogie, did you have a child?
Oogie sputters at that, and what? No, oh no, I ain't that old. Cause Oogie, I think we've established him as just being late 20s, early 30s.
I mean, could be like just like a really young kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
haven't ruled it out yet.
Riley pipes up. My mom was 16 when she had me.
So that would put Oogie at how old before having a kid?
I mean, yeah, that would be plausible if he's 31.
Oh yeah, you could have a 15-year-old at 16.
Uh-huh.
But hey, you know, what you do is what you do.
Congratulations, Oogie. You're a father.
Oogie puts up his hand and he goes, let's just say that it's inconclusive, but they are a kid that I feel responsible for.
Well, that's more than some parents can say.
But if you were to name a kid, what would you call it?
Kennedy chimes in at that. Well, obviously, Park.
There you go then.
Have a kid, park him on Kamiego. Done.
Well, I think that settles
well,
it, Oogie. We just need to find your child.
you know,
Oogie's face is actually kind of darkened at this thought. It hadn't occurred to him that this might actually be his kid. He, you know.
Yeah, I'll just say it's a little grim considering we're talking about a person that's potentially been taken as a or it's been sold as a slave.
Well, not just that. The fact that Oogie left without them,
yes,
with the excuse that they just would have slowed him down.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't leave. That's why you leave everything behind, so you don't have to worry about these sorts of things, Oogie. Sorry, I actually probably not say that.
So Oogie actually looks a little bit dismayed at this possibility, and he takes a deep swig of his beer. All right, well, that's enough funning. If they're my kid, well, oh hell, I don't like the I don't like the sound of that, but.
Well, I can keep some ears open if you like. That's a fairly vague description, but, well, put a tag on anyone passing through that meets it.
I mean,
So you
what
said
would
that
you
they
prefer
were...
then? It not to be your kid?
Can you repeat
I
that,
don't know.
Ben? I missed that.
Oh, what would you prefer then, for it to not be your kid?
I don't know what I prefer, Marcus. It was bad enough when I thought I was just chasing down someone, but this puts a new spin on things.
Well, hopefully we find them for you then.
And this
And Dex-
was
Posted something over an image dump. Dexter described them as tall, skinny, with dark hair and a bowl cut and indeterminate sex. I think they look like young Keanu Reeves.
Oh no. Well, that'll capstone this entire pursuit. You find out that Park has just been where Oogie left them all along, and this was all just a bogus journey.
How did they appear here 1,200 years in the future? Duh, time traveling phone booth.
uh, I have to watch that again. All right. Well, at this point, Omikawa has finished their well, what you see they're eating is a vegetarian nuclear burrito. Riley has finished her allotted half glass and is showing signs of a thin teenager who's never had alcohol before.
mm-hmm.
Mostly giggling at completely inconsequential things.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
How's Amaya through this?
Maya did not purchase alcohol, and instead purchased as many of the value burrito that they had just to fucking store in the medical freezer.
I knew putting Libra up there was a good idea.
Just tell me what the damage is.
Max is just like, whoa, 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 don't mix them with mine, okay? Mine are for research purposes, you know? For Ivan.
Just I don't know burritos. I just don't think keep well, do they?
They're going in the freezer. They're all going
Oogie
to be
looks-
frozen.
Oogie looks at the pile of food that's being amassed for storage in the medical freezer, just shakes his head. We're gonna have to drink some of the beer that's in there, and hope that we never get it real stiff.
Riley looks up. You get more beer in the freezer?
No. Would be a good place to store it, though. Good idea. Thanks, Riley.
In the freezer.
She giggles as if it were her idea. Yeah, as to whether these burritos will keep, the person that you've been ordering this through is happy to inform you that the reason that they're so expensive for what you get is because they're specially researched, designed, and formulated for long-term storage, and even leans in whispering they can even be sold as survival goods under galactic mandate blah blah code blah 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 blah.
Probably tax reasons for that.
Oh, absolutely tax reasons for that.
Less tax for that.
If your entire market is a bunch of pirates who meet at a out of the way point
you
in one
pay
system, are
taxes?
you even paying taxes? I mean,
Well, the nuclear burrito actually
Don't get
makes
wrong.
a circuit around the sector.
there's so much wrong with that from an administrative perspective that
Don't worry about it.
Not your problem. No, I like it.
Now, obviously, they don't go to every system. Yeah, they stick with the more populated ones. They're definitely out at Holau. In fact, I think that's where they were first discovered by this campaign. And they definitely get out to Pana and March, and that's probably about the extent of it. Oh, they did get out to Kuritahirti as well. Yeah, the biggest population centers and the biggest commercial centers. And yeah, getting yourself some masses of burritos. I don't want to put.
Don't forget the gallons of hot sauce.
Don't forget the gallons of hot sauce.
How well do we know Elaine's taste in hot sauce? Elena's.
Unless
I want everything.
Yeah, unless you've had real long conversations with her about that, it would be hard to pin down because Ivan utilizes a variety of hot spices.
All right, well, we're getting in multiple gallons then. If they sell it by the gallon. Surely they do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
One second, I need to add this to my list then.
And we'll
I've
go ahead
got a
and
list
simplify
of
things
hot
down
sauce.
to the trade goods line item in the equipment section. So you want a couple weeks worth of burritos for personal eating. That's 50 credits. You want you want a large selection of burritos for return to Ivan. That's 50 credits. You want a fair selection, variety of hot sauces for Elena, and at that amount, anyone in the ship that wants them, 50 credits.
And what's lunch
Alright.
for the whole crew cost me?
And we're expensing this, right?
No. Oogie offered to treat everybody to lunch. So
Yeah, but what about all the other stuff?
You
He
could...
beat it back out on his word.
Alaya's purchased her own burrito.
Wait, I just
Her own
realized where,
burritos. That's
Well-
not going on AV.
where those assholes that, like, the person who offers to pay, like, orders a burger, then we all order, like, sirloin steaks or whatever else.
That's why you don't announce that you're paying for other people's food until after.
Yeah.
You
and
gotta make them think they're paying for it themselves first.
and Tulare, the ordering fresh burritos for the ship. It's a small ship. I'm only gonna call that 10 credits. And we'll go 25 credits. The nuclear burrito does have to make money here, although it's probably likely that selling burritos is not their moneymaker.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just selling sauce.
Marcus probably sniffs that out fairly easily with the connect wisdom check that anyone here that wants to make can make.
Where's connect? Oh, wisdom.
Yep.
Eh.
No. Marcus is fine. He sniffs right out that some of the sorts that come in for burritos, you know, they might like the burritos, they might not, but that's not what they're here for.
I get
There
a
is
special delivery package.
Yep, there is clearly some black market. Well, we'll just call it contraband. There's clearly some contraband trade going on here.
Black market hot sauce called it.
I'm feeling
Man,
really
I was
good
going
about people coming back with the parts from that list now.
Max is going to try and get one of everything from that list.
I haven't forgotten about your links.
Don't worry, I'm not worried.
Now, what list are you referring to there, Ben? The burritos?
The
They're happy to
no,
oblige.
the
Is there any particular flavor that Marcus wants?
pretty much Max is just going to see what other people are ordering, where they get the special package, and order the exact same thing.
Okay. Well,
You
they're
want pepperami pizza with no pepperami? No problem.
Ah, okay. So he's keying into the code and the slang that they're using. He may not know exactly what they're getting with that, but he
Yeah, exactly.
recognizes the order. Okay.
He's doing a loot box right now.
Yeah, that's seems accurate. All right, give me just a second here. Okay, yeah, this is definitely more up to date. Okay. I think. Ah, dang it! Come on, document. Okay, there we go. Marcus gets a Marcus gets a bill for 12,500 credits.
Marx is not backing out from this.
Oh no! All right.
Well,
Marcus does not want to be looking like an idiot, and anything that pricey, he's very interested to know what it actually is.
All right. I think Marcus knows his drugs, so if you would agree with me on that, I'll go ahead and post what he's just bought in chat.
Hell yeah.
He has
Good
one
God.
unit of that. Now, one unit is has a base price of 50,000 and is 100 kilograms. He has 100 kilograms of this.
I was like, I'm just reading. I mean, he can carry it.
Yep. I mean, they put it on a trolley, for you.
And we are ordering a lot of burritos to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Max is going like, I've ordered too many burritos. I'm just going to take these back to the ship, okay?
Okay.
Oogie just sees him walking out, trailing 100-kilogram burrito box. Oh man, he's gonna regret eating that much. Ring of fire, if you know what I mean.
Ring of fire.
And yeah, Marcus is thanked for his business and given a ride back to the Marmoset. With the information that you got here from Caden Kennedy, if Archibald wanted to spend a little bit of time following up on leads, he could probably locate Park if they're here, or at least find where they've gone if they've already been through.
Yes. I figure that's my job here.
Real quick sidetrack. Is the fact that the first level of this doesn't need a roll, does that feel less interesting than if there was a roll involved?
I don't know, probably. But also, what notice is what you'd roll.
I guess it's a bit like Starfarer. It's below sense.
Yeah.
DC, maybe you don't need to, like, check.
Yeah, that's kind of how I modeled it. Is like the wanderer focus, being able to go somewhere In fact, this is pretty much the opposite of Wanderer. Is you're able to find where someone has gone.
Be able to find that wanderer.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I think it's. I mean, I think it's fine as, particularly if you compare it to like Starfarer.
Okay, cool.
The main thing is I'm doing the thing.
You are doing a thing.
Rolling dice is fun, but it's not the end all be all.
It's like Marcus when he can say, "I can lift that."
Yep.
He's just very proud of himself.
Yeah, it's kind of like telekinesis. It's just like, yeah, you just can lift this number.
Okay. Well, Archibald can get some more detailed contact information from a few of those persons who seem more likely to bear results and be willing to talk without having to storm a pirate ship. You know, that part's kind of important.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, this isn't even our mission, so you know. Let's not get too crazy with it.
And while the rest of the crew is kind of getting burritos dispersed out to them, your ship, the Marmoset, is going to stay here for probably another hour and a half, just letting people have that little spot of eating. You've only had 1 day of Libra's food, but already people are very happy to have experienced this little bit of a break. And it's also a break from the standard fare in Dry Sun. You know, there's certainly much better cooking than Libra available there, but unless the crew go and spend or get some kind of special treat from Ivan or some of the other chefs there, they're also eating fairly bland food. You know, it's just military food.
Sure.
So there's time for Archibald to follow up. Do you have any? Do you want to insert or inject any narration of how he does? I realize I just kind of took over it last time.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I don't have any particular. Let's see. I mean, it might just be kind of tailing Marcus for a bit. He seems to be getting into the grittier underside of it all.
Okay. Well, sure. Some of the contacts that Marcus has around, they're not as tight contacts as Kennedy over there, and are less willing to talk. But between Archibald and Marcus, and maybe Isya, if you call him over to have some communication, then
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, if Marcus is okay with it, I'll trade down the goodwill he's earned by making such a large purchase.
yeah.
Yeah, Marcus is all right to have a little buddy.
Even if I mean, I feel like this. I mean, Archibald knows what Marcus is looking for, stuff like that, right? I mean,
I imagine he does.
He was just a little bit shocked with what he got. Like, if you saw his face, he was like,
yeah,
confused, happy.
yeah. I mean, Archibald's not going to comment on it, but you know, it's just because you got a good nose for this stuff, so it's like, that'll get me in touch with some of the people I need to get in touch with too. Save me some work.
Yeah.
No, Max is good with that.
And they're easier to work with when they're happy. Because I'm not.
Oh, go ahead.
Because the only thing to say, the tactical, I'm not like going like hard line or anything like that. It's more just. I guess not necessarily posing as a slave trader, but Not like, hey, I'm looking to put down some scum or find some bounties necessarily, because I don't want to alert anyone too much.
Right. Right.
So, trying to be low key about it.
So, yeah. Okay.
What's that mean?
What? What Archibald comes up with is that I'm not finding names.
Jesse.
I don't know. We're hitting button taking names are all out of names.
We are.
Walt.
It's terrifying. Where'd the names go? And let's see. Sorry, your GM is having a name crisis here. You have Archibald has come up with a uncertain and vague description that his keenly honed bounty hunting instincts are telling him isn't so uncertain and vague at all. The subject of his pursuit.
This kid's just generic as heck.
It's what?
I said this kid's just generic as heck.
They certainly are. The subject of his pursuit was probably in the fiction, but certainly as far as the mechanics and Archibald's instinct go, passed through on a ship named the Terrible Colonel. And that's Colonel as in popcorn kernel.
Huh.
Captained by Eric Starr.
Eric Starr. That name's not familiar, right? I don't think it is.
No, it's this was a brand new. Oh, I do see a name on here that's Jesse. I'm going to change that to Jesse Swift because that is literally a name on this list, and somebody said Jesse.
I did.
Yep.
Only because of Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah. Well, sorry about that. Jesse Swift, captain of the Terrible Colonel, and they were making their way to towards Cutie Tahirti.
Damn.
There was talk of securing passage through Daytel and Demos and Daytel, and Marcus can be so certain of that final destination over there because of special arrangements that they seemed to be making for unmolested passage through Daytel as as part of some kind of Mercure Core agreement.
Or Mercury Core, huh? Okay. Cutie Tier T is all the way. Yep.
It is.
That's what third is. They're probably going to third. It'd be really weird if they're going to Auntie.
Oh, you guys were talking about how Mercury Core's going to use the planet for testing.
Yeah, well, that's a different problem. Boy, howdy.
And none of that takes Archibald terribly long, especially with all the connections that have already been made here. And so Archibald has this likeness, these accounts and the destination in hand before at least a half hour before Elena calls everyone to their stations to resume the trip. You want to approach Oogie with it?
I mean, maybe we should do it while we're underway. Yeah, let's wait until we're underway. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of awkward, you know. Let's put it off a little bit,
Okay.
because that's not on our way. Well, I mean, I guess in a sense it is, but it's beyond our way.
It's sort of in the same direction-ish.
Yeah, it's in the same direction-ish, but
And besides, it's likely that Oogie is sharing some responsibility, some of the accountability and responsibility for getting Riley back on board. And are you taking her to Medbay to see Sunny, or are you just taking her to her room?
Well, actually, there was more business to be conducted.
Oh, there was. I skipped right past Orlinx's list.
Although we have spent enough time role playing here, if you want, I can just abstract that to a roll.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right, we're gonna do wisdom plus trade to see if Oogie can find somebody or somebody's here with parts that they're willing to part with before we get underway.
Okay. I think that would be perfect for a trade roll.
You missed a golden opportunity to say before we depart.
Before we depart.
Parts that they're willing to part with before we depart.
Nice. Nice. All right, trade plus some wisdom. That's
That is
mediocre.
surprisingly low for Oogie. So parts, comprehensive list of parts for a still.
Oh, you know what? When you make a trade skill check relevant to trading or bartering, roll 3D. Oh no, I do have level 2. 3d6 and drop
Okay.
the lowest.
Go ahead and roll one more d6. I knew there was something missing from that.
Is it slash roll?
Yes, it is, or just /R.
That'd be
So a
Brings you up to
7.
a 7. A 6 is still a success, but because where you're at, this list of parts that you're looking for is not going to be hard to find and source. It's just a matter of time. And the time that Oogie is spending getting these parts, it's getting real close to where Elena is basically giving people 15 minutes last call, finish up your meals, and back to your stations. And Oogie hasn't completed this list. He wasn't able to find a single source that would be able to provide all of this, but he knows it's all here. He thinks he could get it done with just a little bit longer if someone's willing to go and convince Elena of the need for it.
All right, so yeah, he'll radio Izya, because Oogie, for all that he's a good trader, he's got no fix in him, so he has no idea what this collection of tubes and kettles is for.
Oh, perfect.
He figures, a kettle, Izzy's gonna volunteer and take over cooking duties from Libra or something.
we cooking all right.
Hey, Izzy.
Yes.
So I I got some leads here on this list of parts that you wanted. Things are going to take a little bit longer to get than initially anticipated. I don't know why folks are reluctant to part with these like they're precious goods or something.
It's because they are. I've seen your setup here. It is amateur hour. I was hoping to improve matters. I was telling Marcus the other day, space gets boring sometimes.
Well, if you could talk to the Captain Elena and persuade her to give me another 30 minutes, I think I can get these parts delivered to us, but that's the
All
best
right.
I can do.
Bring back what you found. I'm sure I can fill it out later.
All right, so what can I get in the 15 minutes?
Over the course of the entire time that you spent doing this, you've been able to fill about 75% of Izya's list. It's enough that Izya could, if he wanted to, jury rig, find the rest in various bits of scrap and spare parts lying around the ship. It, of course, would be jury rigged at that point. But he could complete it with what Oogie's gotten back, and your total cost for what you've gotten so far is it's only running about 50 credits.
I mean, we do have a Maya on board too, and a workshop.
You do.
It depends on whether or not Izzy wants to take this obviously pot still over to the workshop and ask.
Well, I'm thinking, where are you gonna set this up, anyways?
Behind Marcus's chair, obviously.
Sometimes you start down a road before you know exactly where it leads.
Yeah. Note that I have added a private rooms box to this that is only for Riley. This patrol boat has a single private room built into it, and that is for the captain. A separate area has been set aside, has been basically created for Riley.
Basically, we put Riley in the brig.
You know what? That's probably it.
Always spruce it up. Always saying, what do you do with the drunkens? No. Early in the morning.
Actually, I'm just gonna go put her over there. I didn't even think about that.
I'm sure one of the voices is put him in the brig, right?
Oh, you were coming in through a little soft. What was that?
I'm pretty sure one of the lines of that song is "Put him in the brig."
Sounds like it would be, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I can never quite remember all the words in the right order, but you know.
She's not in a private room because she's currently a drunk teenager. She was given a private room because she is sensitive cargo.
Yeah.
Max will just make sure she's in the fetal position.
He had one beer.
Yeah, she's not that bad off.
So she had half a beer.
Yeah.
I think you meant recovery position.
Fetal position is the same, you know. Held up on your side.
It is decidedly not.
Yeah,
I know that.
I don't think they're the same positions.
I know that.
The fetal
but,
position
you
is funnier.
Yeah. Just the regrets, like, oh, I've had a beer. Oh no. I'm not gonna die.
She is feeling a little bit of churning in her stomach. Whether that's from the burrito or the beer, it's hard to tell at this point.
Probably both.
The burrito.
The burrito.
Are we head out?
Yeah, if you paid that nominal fee for those parts, and you're willing to either wait to source the rest or want to try and dip into the ship's supply of spare parts.
It's the wait to source the rest answer.
Okay.
Are you you're printing that out of your pocket, Izzy? Do you have any cash or no?
I have absolutely nothing at the moment.
Okay.
That could be sorted out very quickly, but yeah.
Not a problem. Oogie covers it.
Izzy has the clothes on his back and a broken compad and some spare parts. Great.
No worries.
All right.
Oogie's reputation is on the line. The fact that he couldn't get everything that he wanted means that he's got to pay this out of pocket just to save face.
And the marmoset takes leave of the pirates assembled at the Three Dogs area of space and resumes its journey on towards the horizon.
I'm trying to envision Oogie with no fix and not knowing what this is for, bringing Izzy a crate that Izzy knows what is for but can't assemble, and how that conversation goes.
I mean, I feel like if you actually have the experience, like, that's a very specific thing. I think he could.
Yeah, if that's something that's in Izya's history, then
Oh, it's absolutely in Izzy's history, but it was probably somebody else running the still.
okay, that's reasonable too.
Every time I think about military people running a still, like an illicit still, I have to think about F Troop. That's a blast from the past.
Dude.
Just gonna start calling you Sergeant Agarn.
Yeah, at some point, Max is gonna want to have a meeting with the others.
All right. Well, let's give you that opportunity shortly after. Riley does kind of just lay down and rest off the burrito. And Elena is once again busying herself with ensuring everything is shipshape on the ship. And excuse me. And you guys have opportunity and space. Elena has basically at this point, Elena has agreed that you guys can use her office whenever you need to meet privately. She does keep her quarters locked. Where does Marcus want to meet the mission team?
Yeah, preferably a private place.
All right. So all
Elena's
five of you
office.
pile into the Elena's office. It's roomy enough to accommodate you, if barely.
So, thank you all for coming.
Alright. To what?
Well, you see,
Are you
I
going
mean-
to be sharing a phenomenal business opportunity with us?
exactly.
Oh, I was really hoping that was sarcastic on my part.
Yeah.
All right, what have you got?
Oh, I may have bought some. Like, I was buying burritos and then other stuff and then that other stuff. I didn't
Right,
realize the cost of it,
burritos.
and I said yes. And look, we've only got like 100 kilos of weed on right now.
Kilos?
That's quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's,
What kind of weed are we dealing with?
oh, the good stuff.
You know, on some level, that doesn't matter. Who are you planning to sell it to? Or is that what you want to talk to us about?
Exactly.
Oh,
I'm
no.
not selling drugs.
No, hear him out. We found a great use for leaf and salad dressing. What do you have in mind here, Marcus?
Well, it cost me 12,500.
Oogie
No.
just kind of nods, as these things do.
Wait, how how much these things cost? Perfect. You're the guy I need.
I mean, you said
Yeah,
you
Thanks
got
for
100.
volunteering, Oogie.
I should just leave this here with Oogie, right?
I think this is a
already all
spend
of us.
money to make money thing.
Well, I'm not spending any.
Well, no, Marcus has already
My
taken
budget.
care of step one of that, but
Yeah.
My budget's all tied up in weapons.
it must be nice to have a budget, although I suppose they'll have to pay me eventually.
I mean, look, the way I thought of it is, I wanted to see what they were dealing with, so I ordered one, but I didn't want to look like an idiot, or like, suspicious if I didn't want to pay it once I realized the cost. And then when I got it, it was like, oh, Jesus.
That would explain the look you had in your face.
Yeah. You
So
know,
to be
Oh, I
clear,
thought
you
that
have
was the
bought
burritos kicking in.
an enormous quantity of some sort of mind-altering
Whisper in the
inhalants?
darkness, you know, it's just really good stuff.
No, I don't know, but fine. And what do you want to talk to us about?
Well, firstly, I mean, it's currently just in my room right now.
Yes, and there's a crate in my room that we won't be opening for a while. What is your point?
So we've got two chances if anyone comes aboard of questions being asked. Which is,
No, I think it's perfectly clear to anyone who looks in my crate what it is I'm up to, but since, anyway, go on.
and well, mainly one, like, just to let you know that's about and that we may need to hide it, and two, preferably a plan of how I can get rid of this, because I didn't think that was going to work. I thought it was going to be some minor stuff, you know, just like some pick-me-ups, but this is like pick-me-up. You know?
You understand that the pirates in this system are professionals, correct?
Oh yeah, but I mean,
How is this outcome surprising to you, given that information?
I thought it'd be, you know, like, let's say a week's
Recreational amount.
worth. Yeah, you know, not like a
Not
distribution
dealer's
amount. Yeah,
Marcus is what we like to call a man of action.
exactly. Exactly.
Do we like to call it that?
Do first, think later.
Yes, we've covered my feelings on that subject. Well, we're going to a place where presumably they don't have a whole lot of anything coming in.
So but I like it. I like the idea.
Now, I've got an idea here, Marcus. I've got a reason why we ought to be making a detour to Cootie to Hurdy after this
real,
mission is complete.
real quick, I'm not sure that
Yeah,
Archibald is.
No, Archibald's definitely putting that off.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah, he's
you hadn't told me
procrastinating.
that. You hadn't told me that. Okay, that's right. Sorry.
It's all a waiting game.
All right. Marcus, we ain't gonna be too far from Cootie to Hurdy after this mission. I suppose if there's enough money in it, we might be able to make a little bit of a detour.
But I
Well,
mean,
Slate,
that's just
We know that stuff will fly on Thurred. Ain't nobody gonna ask any questions there.
right. I like it. So we just need to find the opportunity. But the thing is, we're gonna have to sell this to like another dealer.
I mean, we've got contacts in the salad dressing business. They might be able to help us find interested parties.
I mean,
Salad dressing barons.
look, I know roughly if we were to sell this, you know, like to regular people, maybe roughly 50,000 credits. Maybe. Potentially. But again, that's what I mean. That's if you're like doing it yourself. But we won't want to be doing that. So what would you say would be a fair price for this opportunity?
Boogie breaks out his data pad and starts running some calculations. You said you got about 100 kilos there. Now let's just suppose we was to break that up into 101 kilo bricks, something that a small time dealer could then distribute. You say if we would sell it all dose wise, you could get about 50 grand for it.
Give or take.
Work out your math. Let me know when you need help convincing someone.
I reckon if we could get 35 grand for that, parceling it out, that would be a reasonable cut.
I like that. I like that. Good amount. Good amount. So, 1, I've made you all aware, so you can't be mad at me. 2, we've got a plan, and 3, we've got a price. Number 4, we just need to execute now.
So, by the way, Dexter, were we restricted from going to Goody Tea Herty or nah?
Mm-mm.
I know there was like some mission around there that we were like, no,
No.
not operating out of the area for a while. Oh, okay.
It was Muron that Alyssa.
Next.
Yeah, I think it was at the time Lisa had nixed any operations around Muron, which is in the opposite direction.
Oh. Okay.
And I think that's been lifted anyways.
Well, then this seems like a good time to bring up to if you already think that's a good idea to go there. I have a good lead that a Jesse something or other may have Park, and they were they were heading that same direction. So how fortuitous.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. Thank me later.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus.
Anytime. I'll do this for you, really. So,
Really,
just a question. Because this is now a business opportunity, I don't have a receipt. How do I get my money back?
You don't. Did you manage to forget that somehow?
Well, I was just hoping, maybe.
Also, this is less a business opportunity than an obligation you've handed the rest of us.
You've made your bed.
I know.
That we're willing to help you get
bed.
back out of it is generous. That you expect us to cover for you is insane.
Look, the bigger the bed, the more people you can sleep in it.
That is technically true.
Hard to argue with that sort of logic.
That's not necessarily a privilege.
Well, thank you for your time, everyone. I'll try and find a way. Well, I might just leave it in my room for now. Just put like medical research and just put a sticker on it.
That's our room. Remember, we just basically have a barracks.
Yeah, I know, but it's on my side of the room.
Right.
Unless, can I put it on your side of the room? Because it is kind of like pushing up against my chair.
People.
Yeah, but it's pushing up near my chair, so can I put it on your side?
You'll have to. You put it on your side. You settle out with the people you share your side with.
Regarding which, sorry about the crate.
We haven't really drawn out our sleeping arrangements, have we?
No, you guys haven't.
That's fine.
Do I need to make a box for that?
You could draw okay, I'm on this side in this bunk.
Oh, there is actually a box for the barracks. You could
start parceling out. I don't think it's that big a deal.
No, it's
good.
not.
We're good.
Marcus and his paraphernalia is just an ever-growing sprawl.
We will have to address this eventually.
Will we?
Well, we should eventually.
All right. Well, unless there's anything else to add to that, I'll go ahead and move us along.
Seems a good time as any to end it.
Yep.
Oh. Speaking of.
We are right at break time.
Yeah, my cats haven't been begging for food yet, so it caught me by surprise. I should still feed them.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a 15-minute break, and we'll say come back at about 1:20.
Okay.
Back into frame. I do agree with you, Shar. You're right.
Turn the slime.
All right. And aside from that extra little time spent on discussing the universe missions, I would say that our side trip out to the Three Dogs took about as long as I expected it would if you guys chose to go that route. So you've taken up approximately half a session in a little side quest there. Side note, should I do our break earlier to more evenly split up the two halves now that I'm doing or trying to do a little bit of a review at the end?
By the time it's at works well for me because that's cat feeding time.
The break should occur when there's an organic opportunity for the break.
But yeah,
Give,
I've got
give or
a
take.
little flexibility.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think the exact time of it's terribly important. Like, I think like an hour window at some point you start the break.
Okay.
That's really probably fine. Like say 3:15 to, well, I guess 12:15 to 1:15, just any time between there when there's a good pause.
All
A
right.
good time to take it.
All right. Well,
That's a joke.
oh, was that something, Knox?
Oh yeah, I said no breaks ever again, and then that's a joke.
Or is it?
Everybody just stay logged in 24/7 in case we need your character for anything.
Yeah, we're gonna move to a real-time roleplay mechanic or dynamic.
All right, good. So in December we'll reach this new. Sounds good. All right, how are we spending our time on the ship?
In transit.
You guys have
No fast forwarding. We need exhaustive detail.
Loading.
We need to know what
Load.
position Marcus is sitting in his chair at all times. Actually,
Was
maybe
the
we don't need
exact
to know
Angle
that.
of the back of the chair right now.
All right, so moving right along.
It takes about 2 weeks to reach Bird, and that is including the a little bit of extra time for you to stop over and refuel in Holau. You do have the but I thought you did. Oh, the Marmoset does not have fuel bunker.
This is where Amikwa is from, isn't that right?
Holau is where Omiko is from, yeah.
Just curious, making sure I remember that correctly.
There's not a lot to do on that planet.
And I'm gonna say maybe with 2 psychics on board, we shouldn't go there.
It seems, out of game. It seems wiser. Yes.
Would be fun though.
Yes.
I'm sure Dex won't mind us taking a short little detour.
It is a
Yeah.
sandbox campaign.
Yeah, sandbox.
Yeah, I'm fine with you hopping on over there and testing out your psychic prowess.
Should work out well. No, but we will be refueling there. Is there a refueling station there?
There is no refueling station in Bird. There is a refueling station. Well, there are refueling ships available in Holau as long as you're on good terms with them, which you are.
Okay.
I'm going to retcon just a little bit and say that Raza also hacked together some fuel bunkers for you. They're absolutely not something you want to keep past this journey, but knowing that Bird is not a place where you can normally refuel, they made those modifications for this mission.
So we're just riding around with extra fuel strapped onto our sides. Would make a really great target for a hostile ship.
As the fuel depletes, we end up with more places to hide cargo we don't want anybody to find, if you think about it. So
No,
they're not going to look into the things hanging off the side of your ship, obviously.
not in the fuel tanks; those are full of fuel.
It's
I mean,
all
duh.
in tankers that they have set. They've basically taken out your extended store
I don't know why I encourage you to do this. Go on.
They've taken out the extended stores and replaced that with fuel. So, it's just replacing one type of fuel for another. That also is a logical reason why Ivan was not reassigned, because he is a little bit more wasteful with the food, and Libra is not.
Yep, are we really gonna let Libra cook the whole trip?
Seems like.
Those are Raza orders.
Well, it's a good thing we stopped by and got some burritos then. Blatantly defying Graza's orders. It took one day of cooking from Libra for us to say nope.
Sometimes you got to make an on-the-field decision.
Yeah.
Kind of like the semi-lore that we're establishing, that you can kind of sort of pretend that you have anyone fitting that you don't actually have, so long as you're willing to sacrifice things like all of the space in the barracks.
So I guess we arrive?
You certainly do. You arrive to a silent system. There is no news, no mail comes to you, no greeting, no warning. Just space, Xandar, the inhabited planet that you know of, and a couple of other rocky and gassy planets throughout the system, with assorted moons. But the airwaves are silent. Sorry,
I'm gonna say he's just probably still on the bridge.
Okay.
Well, that's unnerving. It's almost never this quiet when you arrive.
You're usually not arriving in presumably uninhabited, or there's just
They're just isolationist.
Isolationist, okay.
Not only isolationist, apparently they're making hardly any RF noise if we don't hear anything when we get here.
They are making hardly any RF noise. There are echoes of when they... Oh, that's loud. When they did have some local broadcast that escaped the planet.
Cat food commercials and, things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But those are highly fragmented and dissonant echoes. There's not much signal left to them.
Is there any indication of how old those were? Like how long ago they stopped?
Yeah, you could probably... someone could probably check that if anybody's good
Armstrong?
with sensors. Otherwise, it's Armstrong. Yeah. Someone want to bring up Armstrong and give me a roll?
Sure. Skill.
And they can have their +1 for following orders.
Yes.
About that, does Armstrong outrank us at this point?
It's a kind of a lateral or parallel ranking structure. Yeah, parallel. Yeah. As far as ship actions and activities, Elena and ship crew outrank you.
Okay.
But when it comes to mission parameters and mission actions, you're effectively on par with Elena. Elena having final say over what goes with the ship, and you being able to press to override if there's a hard, like brick wall dispute between mission and ship. Her responsibility is the ship and crew. Yours is completion of the mission, and those are about on equal level according to Raza.
Okay.
Yeah, I've forgotten how well Armstrong ends up rolling, and that is enough. It would appear that these signals are... Get my stuff here. Running at about a week old. This system went silent a week ago.
which was actually after we had left for this system.
Mm-hmm.
Not concerning at all.
Can we get a look at the planet?
You can. But as you approach the planet, you start to make out um, satellites in orbit, and not just communication satellites. These hold a higher orbit, and it's easy to see even before you're within engagement range that these are weapons platforms. Let's see.
How good a look can we get at what's going on the planet's surface before we get in range of the weapons platforms?
Give me one moment here. I want to give you some dates and stuff. Oh, you arrive here about January 19th, and we can talk about that later, Shar. Um, um, there we go. The transmissions ended about a week ago, and takes you only a silent 12 hours to approach within range of recognizing those satellites. You'd have to get a bit closer to make use of your ship's scanners, but since this ship is equipped with survey sensor array, you can probably get information from the planet, just not as detailed as if you were in orbit. So the answer there is yes, you'll be able to scan the planet for some things, but not others, unless you enter orbit and deal with whatever those weapons platforms pose.
I guess presumably weapons platforms aren't entirely unexpected, right? Because they're like isolationist xenophobe kind of thing. Like they just have that
Right.
always fending off. Okay.
Yeah. Them having some kind of orbital defense network, no, that's not really too much of a surprise.
Okay. Not
It's
like a siege that's been going on.
no. It's also entirely likely that they would have a navy they can field to, jump into the skies. Although there are no other ships in orbit as you approach, and it's additionally or thirdly likely that they have ground batteries to as a last line of defense.
Lovely. Well, I guess the hope is those defenses are offline now.
What does Armstrong think is the likelihood the signals we picked up reflections of are from the planet or from somewhere else in the system?
With
I guess by now it's probably hard to tell, but if you had to guess.
Armstrong isn't great at guessing, and will demonstrate that by telling Isya that the signals are too degraded to pinpoint where they may have come from.
Wishful thinking, I suppose. Is there any, we have sensors, is there any sign of anything that is not the planet that would be of interest here? Or a defense satellite, I suppose? Not like we don't have time while we're approaching to try to figure that out.
Can you clarify what you're asking? Is it?
It's a whole solar system. We know there's one inhabited planet that nobody gets to visit. Period. End of discussion.
Okay.
What else is here? There are other planets. There are moons and things.
Yes, there are other planets and moons. Armstrong could try and run a sweep of the system at large. You have time before you would be, considered in the faces of those weapons platforms. So they could spend time doing that.
Yeah, it would be a good idea just to get some kind of sense of, is there somewhere else in this system that might be relevant to the situation?
Okay.
Before we fly into the teeth of a bunch of space guns.
Armstrong looks over at Elena, and Elena nods, and Armstrong gets to work. it's going to take them some time before they've got an answer for you.
It's reasonable. Is there anything else we can do before we approach the place?
Hail it.
They don't seem to like that here.
I know,
Rebroad-
but
We could rebroadcast David's transmission.
I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. It's probably better than just saying, hello, how are you?
it's an
Or
idea.
Avon calling. Yeah.
Well,
That's all we got?
I am. This is your discussion here. Elena
Mhm.
does not have any real input on what else you might do or look for or broadcast. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first things first. Are the is there any way to identify whether the orbital defenses are active?
Oh, there's at least one way to know.
Is there another way that doesn't involve flying into them?
Armstrong tells you that they've already set up an algorithm to filter out what is the word I'm looking for? Basically, filter out noise energy signatures from the area. They go into kind of a technical description of an algorithm that basically is going to tell them when you get close enough and the filters are able to apply that whether those are active or what kind of energy signatures they have. So, yes, Armstrong will tell you when you get closer.
So there is only one way to find out, is to go closer.
To be clear, Armstrong is not saying that you have to get within engagement range. They will know within 6 hours without doing anything else. That's what I'm trying to say there, is that Armstrong is going to be able to tell you without them having
Before
to do anything else before it becomes like super important for you to know.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
So
hopefully.
how much information is available, and I guess this is what Izzy is doing while we approach. How much information can we find out about this planet from whatever sources, even fictional, that we've got available here?
Like, what sort of weapons do they use?
He's probably been doing that off and on the whole journey here, in fact.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a what
It's got to
skill
be
check?
no, right?
Well, no is still more of the science and educated knowledge. This would be more traveler and connection knowledge. I would let you roll no if that's as a fallback if you've got nothing better.
No, they're the same.
If I'm gonna tell you, if you roll connect, then Xander's gonna roll over again.
I can help with connect, but remind me
very
what
good.
exactly it is we're trying to figure out here.
We're trying to find out through hearsay what's going on this planet and in this system on the way here. Hearsay, research, all that type of thing.
Trying to get yourself more of a planetary profile than the strict scientific research, or well, not scientific research, but than the galactic mandate blurbs or the bird blurbs would provide.
Yeah, like can we find a news story about somebody having escaped from here or some nonsense?
Yeah.
I can help with that.
You heard the word.
Well, it doesn't have to be me rolling, but it's something we ought to do.
So
would you say intelligence plus connect?
I think intelligence plus connect. Hold off on that roll yet. I want to make sure that anybody who's assisting does roll first. It's preferable to me that way. So, what other skills than connect would you use to assist in pooling this knowledge?
Am I allowed to make suggestions for people?
Absolutely.
Notice would definitely be useful. Administer might be useful.
Yeah, I was going to suggest administer myself.
Okay.
I think Izzy's more of a go to the library and come back with a bibliography type of guy.
I'm gonna put you guys up there in the bridge. You may move yourselves about where you like.
So I think I'll roll administer intelligence then to help, and
Sure.
we'll let Oogie carry the connect roll.
That works for me.
Anybody else wants to get involved, feel free.
And just to check, have we already asked where, like, I'll say major heat sources are so we can see where cities are?
You're not quite close enough to do that easily
Okay.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah, there's your administer.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I.
Does failing a notice hurt it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Was notice one of the ones listed?
I would ask you to justify how a notice would come in.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not really. Close.
I could not. I was just asking if it was. I don't have a good notice at all.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, notice isn't something that I think has been suggested, and I haven't put out any suggestions yet, except for the initial
Yeah.
connect.
I think Oogie threw
Yep.
it out.
But
But I'm not
Izya's role there is sufficient to give Oogie the +1.
We decimal, y'all.
Oh dear.
Wow. Unnecessary.
Well,
Hey, you don't know that a 15 isn't better than a 14. I
have
might
a
have put us.
good
I might have put
hunch.
us over a threshold there.
I usually feel like 15. I like most of the thresholds go in twos, and I do stick with the 8, the 6, 8, 10, 12. But I usually look at 15 with some additional sense of awe. It took a lot to get there, and there's a lot of information in that. I think I'm definitely going to reward that high of a roll. It just makes it all the sweeter that that was combined effort. So, what the lot of you, and this is coming from bits and pieces from anyone that wants to claim, knowledge or contribution of a part. If you feel like it's something that your character would know, that's perfectly fine. This doesn't have to be just Oogie and Izya.
I got nothing.
So, some things going on with Xander. They are Russian. They came in as a separate colonist Russian group way back in the second waves, when this sector was being colonized. And they they were part of the sector as it grew, but fairly early on took a very isolationist path, and little interaction with them has occurred since then. What stories and relevant recent history you guys cobbled together is there's something kind of like a great project that they're working on over there. Something that they call Blue Sunset. It's
Is their sun at least blue?
their sun is not blue.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah. Did you say that they started their isolationist policy even before the Scream?
this would have been before the Scream, yes.
They've literally been cut off like ever.
Yeah, they've been cut off. They were cut off by the Scream, and came out even more isolationist post Scream. Especially since it took a few decades or centuries, even I think, for people to start racing the stars and reaching out again. They said, "Nope, thanks, we're good," even more so than before. Um, this Blue Sunset Project is a kind of national pride, and is spoken of by travelers that have any stories to tell at all, as just um, a facet of Xandaran life. Um, They are hardworking people. They are proud of who they are and being isolationist. Um, they don't have a whole lot of respect for anyone out there in the sector and want nothing to do with them. But other than all this isolationism and xenophobia, uh, as applies even to other humans, they seem to have fairly normal lot in life. They've got normal cities. They've got normal entertainment programs. Um, they have some. They still have mandate training stuff, and they have some old entertainment. And I think at this point, I'm going to stop blathering on about information you may not care about and ask you, with your 15 roll there, are there any specific questions that you want answered?
Okay, so have there been any dissidents as far as the policy of isolationism? Has somebody like stolen a starship and been like, "Screw you guys, I want to go see the galaxy" or anything like that in the past?
Yeah, some of the information you've cobbled together has been from taking apart Xandaran starships. You know, their technology diverged from the rest
Oh,
of the
they can build
sector.
starships. See, that by itself is interesting. Go on.
They can, and their technology diverged from the rest of the sector after their isolationism. But someone within the last 60 years ago um, did acquire a Xandaran starship, and while different due to that divergence, they have similar technology. The real, perhaps not surprising, but the point of interest in dissecting this ship was that there was no spike drive, and there was not even anything within the ship that would the ship's infrastructure that would support a spike drive.
So was it still in the was it still in the bird system then?
It was
Just like
carried
a
out of the
mixture.
bird system.
Okay.
Okay. Do we know if anybody has what you would call unofficial contacts with, say, their government or something like that?
There were some communications between the Trin on Trinita Fade, but that, things happen with Trin, or with Trinita Fade to end whatever communications they had.
I've got a question that I know we're not going to get complete information to in this, but I'm going to try it anyways. What is Blue Sunset?
Blue Sunset is a just planet-wide construction project.
When you say planet-wide, are we talking the visible from space kind of planet-wide?
No, we're talking smaller installations scattered planet-wide.
Now, would you say
Like
these installations resemble condensers?
That would be hard to say without better scan data.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is there any information whatsoever from the cultural information we were able to glean describing the purpose of Blue Sunset or the operation of Blue Sunset?
Yeah. What it's for is definitely the most interesting question.
Yeah.
No. There doesn't seem to be anything more than complete blind speculation about Blue Sunset.
Hmm.
And certainly no first-hand or even second-hand from a Xandaran to through any intermediary accounts of what it does. In fact, any information that any accounts or assumptions or guesswork that you do find is at least the more reliable ones. The crackpots have theories, but the more reliable
I want to hear about the
reportings.
crackpot theories. I don't know about you guys, but go on.
Well, I'm gonna say it's just they just really want the sunset to be blue.
Yeah, they're just putting up tinted windows around the planet. That is one of the crackpot theories. They're just
And the Trin really wanted the skies to be argon.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh, too soon.
Okay. Well, I guess there's not a lot else we can do before we, start engaging with things, I guess.
I mean, your out of character information here is important as anything, because the fact that there's no credible information about its purpose means that its purpose is vitally important to this mission.
What? I
No
don't
kidding.
know how you'd ever make that leap.
Familiarity with how narrative works.
No. Let me dispel that. I'll tell you right now. It's not important because the Xandarans that supposedly this information came from, they don't even know what the project is. They just do construction. There. I hope I've dispelled any.
It's unimportant because anybody who knew anything about the project is dead anyway.
Has never left the planet. They didn't even tell their own people how it worked. They just made sure they all worked on it. No, that obviously doesn't matter for anything.
I think you guys are making much ado about nothing. This is a gazebo, guys.
Oh no, I know all about the gazebos.
Planet-wide gazebo.
You not heard of the Dread Gazebo?
You must face it alone.
Like, I don't know why you think a gazebo is gonna be less threatening.
I'm sure it's a level appropriate challenge. So I hear there are some weapons platforms.
Yes, and you've now approached close enough that Armstrong can tell you with certainty that yes, those weapons platforms are powered. And they have energy weapons on them.
I want to make one last quick comment about the information gathering. So I know Izia had experienced some skepticism of Oogie's intelligence or his professionalism, but when you got to see him at work here, he was a dynamo of like sociological information gathering.
Good to know.
He's very intensely focused. Like when he gets his mind on something, he focuses on it to the extent of all, or to the omission of all else.
All right. So, we have a planet to go down to, it sounds like. But we have these energy guys in the way. What would we like to do about that? Soliciting opinions?
Open fire.
I mean, apart from get really, really close to one of these things they're building, I'm
It
curious,
can't
but
be as
otherwise,
easy as the plan.
Yeah.
otherwise, I guess like go down to the planet and try and figure out like where major broadcasting stations are.
So, more information about these weapons platforms as you are nearing them. They are
That's time for it.
they are arranged in orbit, in high orbit around the planet. Let's see. I've described it as a sphere of orbital weapons platforms. They are numerous enough that gosh, I knew I put something here. Hang on one second. Okay. Okay, there we go. They are numerous enough that without going around and destroying all of them, they can maintain overlapping coverage of anywhere that one would try to penetrate orbit around this planet.
It's inconvenient though.
I mean,
Can it be less convenient? Can it be more convenient, rather?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I'm just saying that's very inconvenient. Can
Oh.
we make it more convenient, please?
I can't. I'm sorry.
Damn. Well, I tried.
So, at some point in Oogie's research, did we uncover like a standard warning these guys give, or like how they respond to certain activities, or anything like that?
Yes, you. I think that's easy enough. There is a automated warning that is issued from the weapons platforms prior to engagement range, and ignoring that warning is, well, gets someone fired upon.
If they're automated, that's not going to have changed then. There's no like signal from the planet, it's just automated. Okay, that won't help. What else we got?
I mean, I think it was said previously, but play the message back to them. See if we get any responses back. Or
Sure.
just send out the word Raza to the planet and see if we get like a response.
Yeah. I mean, the distress signal was from the planet itself, right?
I mean, it came from here.
Yes, by the count given to you from David. By the way, I have added the NPC chatter to that mission text, in case you enjoy those kinds of elevator moments with NPCs. Let's see.
So far up now.
It should be pinned.
Oh, right. I always forget about pins. They're different words in a different order, and David isn't singing.
That's so good.
I must have missed something.
Yeah, what am I missing?
Oh, go to the planning channel and yeah.
It's pretty good.
Channel?
In planning, the dark, cold silence mission pinned.
Okay.
Dexter, that is some of the best NPC chatter ever.
Thank you.
Well, if Armstrong, it writes itself, right?
That's what they're laughing about.
Yes. Yes, it is. There you go. So, yes, I think David would have included a generalized location of where the distress beacon was transmitted from on the planet.
Okay.
So you've got a destination in a wide area.
So, knowing that there was a planet-wide mystery project with an ominous name puts this whole mission brief into a slightly different context, I think.
It's fine. What's the worst that'll happen? We'll just get shot at.
I'll jump in with Elena here. Elena, how do you mean?
Well, if you go back over the message, we have sentences such as, "The people bowed and prayed to the chilling doom they made." We have people building without speaking. You get the idea, I think.
How much is David being cryptic and how much is meaning?
I'm not sure that matters, but this is definitely about whatever their project was.
I mean, just listen to what they're saying. We turned our network to the cold unknown when our ships were stopped by the truth of a world beyond.
What does this mean for fast approaching platforms with lasers? And Armstrong chimes in at this point. Multifocal lasers, 2 on each.
Very little if they're still operational, which I don't see any reason to assume they aren't. If no one has a better idea, I think... Do they only aim out, or do they aim down to the planet as well?
Well, part of the issue is I think we do know they do have planetary defenses too, right?
You expect that they have. Actually, no. With Ugi's 15, yes, you know they have planetary defenses also. Now, as to
Planetary defenses probably, well, may not be automated. Those are more likely to be manned. But anyway,
the weapons platforms, the orbital the orbital weapons platforms, they could probably be turned inward towards the atmosphere, but given the that this is a standard breathable atmosphere, it's thick enough to be a soup for space weapons. That once you actually get into the atmosphere, they will not be able to threaten you. But if you just hang out in orbit and don't plunge into the atmosphere, you may still face threat from some of the more distant of these platforms.
forgotten, is plunging into the atmosphere an option?
We have atmospheric configurations.
I'm pretty sure you do. If not, they sent the wrong ship. Yeah, you do. I'm like, made me question that. I knew Marmoset had atmospheric configuration.
We've been on the planet before. We just didn't go on Nancy because the whole corrosive atmosphere thing.
Right.
I wanted to triple check before we did, and it's like, oh no, you guys are actually just stuck.
Then the only sensible thing to do seems to be to get past these satellites and onto the planet as quickly as possible.
Elena asks you, puts into her own words, do you mean, as if running a blockade?
Pretty much, yes.
A lot like what we did on Fighting, right?
You did some sneaking. I think you actually tried to find a window where you wouldn't be detected, and were successful at that.
But presumably these defenses are a little more thorough.
Yeah, they've got
They've got
clear
longer
overlapping
history.
coverage.
Yeah,
the odds of
Fighting
that
wasn't
here don't
always
seem
Fighting
very
wasn't
good.
always like isolation or blockaded.
No. And Fighting was blockading with a navy.
Right.
Just ships in orbit.
Yeah, rather than dedicated stationary defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
They're not perfectly spaced, so there may be, if you can find it, holes in that network that are less overlapping than others. Armstrong's initial analysis suggests that you're not going to be able to slip through entirely free and clear, but you could certainly find better places and worse places.
All right, so we'll catch attention, but we could probably still squeak by. Problem is, what do you do after you've drawn attention?
I mean, we probably get down to the surface, but it might not mean we're safe coming back up unless we get to resolve things down there decisively.
Right. We don't have any indication. There's like the distress beacon is just distress, right? And then the second question on top of that is, do we have any specifics on where it originated?
You have a general area.
How general an area? Northern Hemisphere, Europe, France,
probably
Paris?
About large city-sized.
Paris. Okay, so that's a pretty small target area.
Also speaking, yeah.
Should we try playing the recording first?
Sure. If
Yeah, I mean, I
anybody
feel
thinks
like
that may
it's
work, or if you
yeah,
think you've got a open sesame type of plan here,
I
go
feel
for
like
it.
it's harder. I mean, I don't think we need to worry about pissing them off so that they shoot us on sight because that seems like the default.
Right, and they're
Anymore.
automated systems, so it's not like they'll be any more or less warned.
You can play David's message back.
And failing that, what's the sound of silence?
Well, you seem to have drilled into the sound of silence.
I mean, imagine people not talking to one another but conveying messages. Either they're psychic or. Can the infra beings do that?
You do know that the Trin have that capability. Most Trin have cybernetic eyes, or at least implants that allow them to communicate with each other by direct laser to laser, eye to eye contact.
That answer is perfectly at the intersection of interesting and not helpful.
Sorry.
That's okay. So it sounds like we're rebroadcasting David's message.
Yes, that has been broadcast. I've already taken that out there.
And there's no obvious sign of a reaction to it?
There's no obvious sign of a reaction to it. And
Armstrong
Armstrong,
signs of reaction.
Armstrong has finished their cursory scan of the system. They obviously can't do a terribly in-depth scan of the entire system, but they're able to filter out various noises and sources, and says that there appear to have been some mining colonies at on various moons, but they're not able to find anything active right now.
Yep. I suppose we have to pick our spot and then see if we can hit the target from up here.
This situation makes me think about the cricket from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, definitely. My mind's been over there too, but it seems like these guys didn't plan on destroying the universe. They just really wanted not to be bothered by it.
To answer your posted question there, Knox, yes, that would give you a bonus to attempted stealth checks. It would make it possible, but unlikely. Read a very difficult skill check, actually multiple very difficult skill checks, to chart a course and find an opening as small as possible. But it's possible you guys could slip through this network if you depowered your engines and weapons. It would put you in a very bad position if you had to suddenly power back up. So
Yeah, I was thinking about because they. No, that was our sensor stuff saying that they could detect whether it was something deliberately coming in or if it was just like, I don't know, space rock drifting onto the planet.
right.
Well, that was the reason.
And that's essentially what it would boil down to, is they would certainly see you coming in, but do they see a ship or do they see a space rock?
And do they care about the difference is what I'm concerned with.
Yeah, if you're building orbital defenses, I think they're shooting down space rocks of any reasonable size.
Yeah.
It's not going to end well for the planet.
I guess presumably a ship the size of a frigate, like if it was actually just a space rock, would just probably burn up in the atmosphere, right?
Yeah, and if it didn't, breaker guns, because you know that they've got the technological planetary defenses, breaker guns would take care of the rest with far less energy because they're powered by, land plants. So an asteroid the size, or a rock slipping the size of a frigate slipping through is not unreasonable. It's just difficult and dangerous.
That's all I've got by way of ideas.
So let's put down the ideas that you guys do have. Float like a rock.
And pray.
Sting like a rock.
Sting like a rock. Is that what's that?
It was a joke,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I'd like to think of something to go with that, but I can't figure it out myself.
Well, I'll help you. Sting like a rock. I will attribute to a plan in which you go in guns blazing. How's that?
Okay. The other idea I have seems less good, but it involves throwing space rocks at the defense grid to keep it busy while we try to land.
I mean, I'd prefer to see if we were to chuck a rock, what actually happens before just chucking a rock and then going for it. You know, might as well get an idea of what we're going to be hurling ourselves against.
I mean, the important question with this is: do we want to antagonize the people on the planet by, blowing up large swathes of their defense grid and otherwise trying to overwhelm it, or do we want to evade it and hope that they see that as somehow being slightly less objectionable?
Oh yeah, for sure, but still, I want to see what we're going to be hurling ourselves against, so if we can just chuck a couple of rocks, then we know how bad we're going to be screwing ourselves.
Anybody else have an opinion?
Elena
My normal approach is useless here.
Elena can put a timestamp on the rock idea. Says that it's not it's something that she is familiar with helping to rig up from her time with Union, and could probably get something going where you'd fling a rock and it would test the defense grid in about 24 hours.
Is that something we want to try?
I mean, it'd be interesting just to see how they react.
Especially since we haven't been able to determine anything that's me just urgently on the planet at this point, right?
Other than the distress signal, which one tends to presume is urgent. Yes.
Yeah, but that was weeks ago. That was at least 2 weeks ago at this point, right? Or thereabouts.
Right. Sure.
Mhm.
What difference would another
Ping
day
where
make?
the
Yeah. So my thing. Yeah. So that's kind of my thing. Is what's another 24 hours?
we couldn't ping where the distress signal came from, could we?
Well, yeah, that was like that was like a city-sized area,
Yeah.
which is
Okay.
relatively small considering the planetary scale, but also not super specific.
Yeah, and that information was in David's transmission to you as additional information packets.
All right.
Well, Elena asks if you want her to work up a task group to build the necessary rigging and construction on the ship.
Sounds like she'd better.
Yeah.
Sounds like we don't have a
Mine
better
will help out with
idea.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that, Knox?
I will take part in that.
Okay. Yeah. Elena calls Quiet River over and says that Amaya will describe the well. Okay. So Elena, I'll just say that Elena goes with Amaya and Quiet River to provide her own experience with Union's basically asteroid capture and transport on non-specific ships. Her expertise in that, and let you and Quiet River translate that into fix skill checks. Amaya can take a +1 bonus from Quiet River. Well, from Quiet River and Elena.
I totally need that, apparently.
Let's see.
The other thing was, you said there were mining facilities on moons that have that apparently have gone dark, right?
Mhm.
Did those have any specific defenses?
Armstrong wasn't able to determine any or to detect any, but puts a big caveat on that if they have any and they're just powered down, they wouldn't be able to detect them anyways.
Right. Especially if they're ground based.
Yep. Christy's
I feel
gonna
like
help you guys too.
I feel like, I guess that's also something we could do concurrently with this if we're doing 24 hours anyways. If there's some way to swing by one of those
Yeah, if there's a data burn, it's worth a try.
Sure. Okay.
mining facilities.
Yeah. Most of the work that Amaya and Quiet River and the crew that they've gotten to help you are going to be doing is initially inside of the ship. The EVAs won't be necessary until near the very end of your time there. Actually, I guess it'd be about 12 hours away because gotta give some time for the asteroids and all that. Yeah, no, it's
First, you have to find the asteroid, then you.
yeah. I'm probably being very generous with 24 hours, but I think for the pace of the fiction, it works. Um, but yeah, the point I'm trying to make there, unnecessarily, is yes, all that work can be being done while you guys are traveling to one of these mining facilities.
Also, I said consecutively, didn't I? I meant to say simultaneously.
Concurrent.
Oh,
Yeah.
concurrently. Yeah, that way. Okay, I did use the right word.
You did.
Okay, cool. I knew I was good with words.
Doing great.
A constant reinforcement.
Aw, I'll reinforce you, Meowkin. You've
I
got the
wasn't-
best words.
I wasn't trying to be sarcastic. It's just, I mean, really, how much praise you want for remembering the word concurrent? Jeez. So we're getting somewhere.
All right. I've created a well, I'm retasking one of these boxes over here to be mining base, mining outpost, I guess. Mining outpost exploration. Amaya can join this. Amaya can have left enough instruction with Quiet River for him to direct the named and a few unnamed crew that you have with you. So Amaya can join the mining outpost exploration if you want. Go ahead and put your tokens for whoever wants to join that into the box.
Into the box. Can't put me in a box.
That's why I have you do it.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. You gotta trick them into putting themselves into the box.
Where are we at? Where's
Do
the
we have
button?
any hints of what other action are likely to occur if we're not going to the mining outpost?
How do you mean?
Just, I mean, is the alternative just going to be hanging around on the unpowered ship? Or I guess maybe we'll power back up once we land, but
So
well, we're talking about the mining places are on moons.
right.
Yep.
You don't have to slip past any
I
defensive
misunderstood.
networks to get those.
I misunderstood that. Okay.
Yeah. So this is basically something we can do while we're preparing to test the orbital defenses for the rock plan.
My suggestion is: do we have anybody who speaks Russian coming with us?
Yeah, Yakovich. And by the way,
okay, I meant other than him because that was where I was going. But yes,
gotcha.
I meant player characters. Still, yeah, we're gonna need somebody who reads Russian to hang out here for sure. We
Well,
learned that
obviously,
much.
Elena does.
Elena
I would
does.
She's busy.
It is not one of the languages that Sunny speaks, surprisingly. Huh. Okay.
Wow.
Sunny speaks a lot of languages, and Russian's not one of them.
Well, let's bring our only Russian speaker.
Yeah. And Elena is assigning Riley to go with you also.
Okay. Do we have any reason to expect that we will need acid to hack things while we're down on a mining place? Probably not.
Maybe. I mean, database if something's happened.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose. I mean, it's not as though acid has to stay on the ship, permanently. We can go find out and tell them.
How miserable has it been with being with that? I mean, is acid just constantly? We haven't really addressed that.
Acid has been keeping very much to herself.
Oh, okay. That's the kind of races I can get behind.
To the extent that Acid has not engaged anyone in the galley when she's been eating there at the same time as them, and people just kind of stopped trying to engage with her. She glowers at Libra, and oh, actually, no, she doesn't glower at Libra. Libra's not human.
Okay.
She gets her food from Libra, sits down and eats it, and then spends time on her data slab in the barracks. She does also perform her duties, but doesn't tend to interact with anyone in that. And Elena has seen fit to basically assign her those more solo duties, anyways.
Good call.
Yeah. So far, Acid has not been quite as negative of a presence as expected.
Not unbearable, just not friendly.
Yeah.
Are we gonna need backsuits down at this place?
I think I heard you ask if you're going to need vac suits, and you will.
That is not so good. Okay. Do we still have those armored backsuits from last time?
Oh,
From the last mission?
yes, you do.
Okay.
This ship has an
I'll go
armory,
ahead
right?
and-
Yeah, we've got an armory and a ship's locker.
Okay.
So, armored vac suits, I imagine, are a given.
Yep, and probably void carbines all around if we're going to an asteroid mine. Unless somebody really wants to stab things.
Are we really concerned about using void carbines? I mean, we're going to be in vac suits, and we're not in a spaceship. We're not worried about explosive decompression, right?
I just feel as though if you're in what is probably already a place that's not up to normal safety standards, there's no real sense in making it worse.
Yeah, I mean, debatable.
I mean, you could also argue that in the absence of safety standards, it's pointless to try to make it better.
Yeah, see? I like that. I like that logic.
Well, as you are approaching to within a half hour of it, Armstrong is finally able to report to you that there are defensive weapons at this outpost installation, but they are not powered up. They're also able to perform scans and interrogate those sensors if you have any questions you want to ask of this place before going to it.
Step one, we do have the infraworld scanners, right?
You do.
Okay.
So is that the first
Well,
question you want to ask?
That would be my first question. Just because, better make sure that it's not, because it's always Vega, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. All the problems in the universe are
Always.
Vega.
Yeah.
Obvious. So, someone go ahead and give me a roll from Armstrong, giving them the +1 for following orders.
I got it.
Okay. Okay. The difficulty is 8, and Armstrong is able to report that there are no infraworld or it detects infraworld incursions. There's no sign of any infraworld incursions at this facility, and they're able to get the entire facility into that scan.
Okay. Let's put out the laser weapon to pull out the mag weapons.
That's good information to have. Did you want to ask any other questions of it?
Anyone else? Scanning. Anyone?
Seems like no.
It's really
No, I've
better questions. I mean, I guess like the details on the defense is present.
Okay.
I mean, arguably, we want to know if there's anybody alive over there before we even go down, right?
Oh yeah, life science. Probably important.
Yeah, for such a small facility that you're able to get so close to with no atmospheric interference, I think scanning for life signs is a reasonable ask. Go ahead and give another roll to Armstrong. Again with the +1. Difficulty of this is 9.
Nice.
Armstrong gets the 9. And
Thank you,
no,
+1.
Armstrong is able to conclusively verify that there are no signs of life, and there is no active life support. There's no atmosphere. There's no hydroponics. There's nothing here that is life or supports life.
But presumably, it's a sort of facility that should.
Yes, it definitely should. It's large enough that it probably has an internal barracks for rock farmers that are just stationed out here for weeks at a time.
And you mentioned the defenses were powered down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, conceivably, this place is abandoned, but there's only one way to be sure. Under what circumstances it became
Right, but
abandoned, I mean.
there were multiple of these. Do we have any information that indicates that these have recently been in use?
Just the assumption that if you have a planet-wide, pet project, you're going to need stuff for it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's cheaper to, in the future, it's cheaper to get it from off planet.
Go ahead and roll one more time from Armstrong. I think this will be the last roll that they're able to make, because this is a very intensive type of
Oh, okay. You're talking about from the scan. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I was curious if we had done outside of that, but that works too.
Yeah, I mean, if we can establish whether it's an X station without even going in, that'd be okay. But I think we're going to end up inside regardless.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Armstrong is able to reasonably confidently confirm that this outpost has been in use within at least the last 6 months.
Then it's worth a look.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. We are right at the end of our session here. Why don't we go ahead and call it here, and we'll pick up with you setting foot on the outpost. The moon that it's on has enough gravity that you could just hop out of the marmoset and drift down gently. if you wanted to, be cool about it. And that'll also give you the entire week to make sure that your inventories are properly readied, stowed, and set, and not worry about any of that during game time.
Do you give me homework?
I am. I want you guys to make sure that your character inventories are correctly set.
Speaking of character inventories, how many ammo filters could I bring along with me?
Ammo filters, I think you could. I mean, I'm not going to put a limit on that. If you try to bring like 1,000, I might say something.
They last for an hour each, unless that's a thing that I need for batteries. In which case, whatever 3 batteries to a thing, I can carry a bunch of them. The point is, I'm going to be outfitting Riley with the suit of armor that I customized.
Okay. Okay. She's still going to need a vac suit though, because this is still going to be vacuum.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we're all vac suits.
Yeah, this functions as a vac suit for an hour per vac refresh, which is why I'm asking how many I could bring.
Oh,
vac refresh.
Vac refresh. Yeah, that's a little bit different from atmo filters.
That's my mistake.
No worries.
That's like a tank of oxygen, basically, right?
Well, vac refresh is basically a dip into a breathable atmosphere. It's not an explicit inventory item. It's just
okay.
You're wearing this thing. It'll do its function outside of breathable atmosphere for up to an hour, and then you walk inside, you refresh it, and then you're good for another hour.
Okay. Okay, sure.
That still works for the purposes that you're aiming for, in that it gives Riley an hour without needing a vac suit. You just need to make sure that she can get back into the ship and then back over, or carry a spare vac suit for her.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Riley is the most frail among us, so.
She is. Is there anything else anybody wants to address, system or game-wise, before I go into review?
System-wise, there is in fact an item called a vac fresher.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's right there in the list.
That's what I thought.
Although it doesn't, I don't think there's actually a description of what it does, though.
It'll just refresh your oxygen, which is like what, 8 hours or some shite.
Yeah, it's basically okay. I did forget about that. It is still basically what it described. It acts as a portable environment that you can use to refresh a that kind of thing. So yeah, sorry Nox, I'd forgotten about that. You could absolutely carry some of those.
Okay. That's what Amaya is going to do.
Okay.
It's a so according to this, I don't know if you found the description of it, Dexter.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a machine that takes batteries and produces oxygen.
Big bug. I'll carry one of those and some batteries. Does it take A or B cell batteries?
It does take. Well, I was gonna say it actually does. It just compresses atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm honestly not real sure. Oh, okay. Its intent.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, its intent is to refill oxygen tanks. Basically, it's still doing. It's doing what a vac refresh would do, except compressing that for an oxygen tank for the full, like 6 hours that an oxygen tank would give. It's still using atmosphere.
Okay.
But I know that there's also an oxygen tank listed in vac suit. It's just one encumbrance. and that lasts for 6 hours. So you can carry, one or two of those, depending on how many you think you'll need, and apportion those off in increments as needed.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go ahead and shift this over into review.